My name is Marshall, and thank you for coming to the Process Life. This is my awesome, adorable, sexy husband, Vito, for those who don't know.
The Dr. Deacon, Dr. Vito in the house.
All right, you guys.
Wow.
First of
Amen.
all, the reason why I pose this question is because we need to get in the mindset, in the right mindset
Oh, not my will,
before
Lord,
we
but your will.
go into marriage. I know a lot of us have a desire to get married one day, but just like Marshall, I still had this singles mentality
Yes, you did.
when I
Did
first
she? Did she?
got married.
Did she? She thought she was still single.
And God had to really convict me, had to really help me, deliver me, restore me, and all that good stuff. Because when you're single, you're independent.
Yeah, you sure
You
are.
know, it's just you and God.
Yeah, you sure are.
You don't have to consult anybody but you and God alone.
Until that blessing come in your pathway.
Right.
Ah.
So really, I wish a lot of things I had already delivered. I wish I could have been delivered before I do. But there's some things that God said, no, you're gonna wait till you get in it. But we're gonna share with you guys what God showed me in the process of
Hey, Neosha.
me having to lay aside my single-mindedness.
Yeah, what was going on with you, Miss Marshall?
Listen,
Would you say that the blessing hit you so fast that you did not have time enough to gather yourself together? How God sent me so fast that when you ain't have time enough to get your mind right.
I was not taught this kind of stuff.
The girl thought she was still single dealing with me.
So listen. We read some of the comments that when we posed this question, and some of them I laughed because that was me. I'm like, it need to be separate. He need to have his. I need to have mine. If something happened, I gotta have mine. I gotta do this. Gotta do that.
Yeah.
And God literally had to convict me because he was like,
Did I ever have to come to you and say anything?
no. It was like, here I am having the desire to be married, but yet I still want to live a single life.
Come on, have a single
You
mindset.
can't do both. You got to do one or the other.
Yes.
So what had happened was,
Tell them what had happened with me, my year.
I got married. I still had this independent, single girl mentality.
Yeah.
Single ladies in the house.
Yeah,
Single
come on
ladies in the
now.
house.
I was dancing with it
But at the
too.
same time, I want to be married in the house and married in the house. I wanted the benefits of being married.
Yes, sir.
But I wanted my money to be independent to me.
Come on now, she wanted her own money.
Not that. It was just, I felt like it should be separate. We separate.
You have yours and I have mine.
Right.
Meaning that she made more money than me anyway.
At the time. Anyway.
I only made like $300 something a week. Maybe $385, $390 a week. Sometimes 4, sometimes 5. She making it in 1. She was making it in 1 week. What I was making in 2 weeks.
So anyway, we're gonna get through this
Of
video.
course, she wanted her money separate from mine.
I was never taught that, the money situation and financial situation and how that works in a marriage.
Right.
So God had to show me that when you are married and we take vows, and here it is, we're committing our lives. We're not committing all of our life. We're committing, half of our life.
Come
You're
on now.
committing
Oh,
all
okay.
of your life.
Come on now,
My
straighten
bad,
it up,
my
straighten
bad.
it up. See there? Do you still watch it now? Watch it. You better get your mind right. Get your mind right, baby.
So listen, y'all. So here it is. God was like, how can I bless you guys as a marriage, as a covenant, but you still living single?
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. You want God to bless your marriage, but your heart and spirit is still connected to your single life.
Yes.
So it was almost like, Marshall, are you really married? I'm talking about piece of paper with somebody signing a license saying y'all married. Are you really married my way, God's way? Or are you married your convenient way?
Woo!
And you want me to bless that? Where is your faith?
Oh.
You don't go into a God ordained, God orchestrated marriage thinking about divorce, thinking about your scapegoat, thinking about your escape routes. And when you come together, everything comes together.
Come on with it.
I don't care if it's child support.
Yes.
I don't care if it's alimony.
Come on now.
I don't care if it's student loan.
Come on now.
It comes together.
Yes.
I know it's hard, y'all. Listen, I know. Oh, I know it hurt.
Yeah.
It hurt because I feel it hurt when
Especially
I say it.
Especially when she make more money than me.
Ladies, all the ladies in the house, say, ow, because it hurt. Ouch. When we first got married, yes, I was making most of the money.
Yes.
So there was child support
Take it out
being taken out
every week.
every week. So yes, if you want God to bless it,
How many years?
2 years.
2 years.
If you want God to bless it, it has to be done right. Listen, I'm telling y'all this because it's easy for me to say now, because then I could not have done this video.
She was going through it, y'all. I knew it. I knew she was struggling with that thing,
I couldn't be talking to y'all back then. I'm telling y'all what God had to
because you
show
hadn't been
me
through that
now.
process yet.
Yes.
That's all.
So here it is. God has sent me, and I know He was sent by God. I knew it was a God hookup, but at the same time, I had these
Preconceived ideas of what you felt what it should be.
right, because before we got married, you guys. For those who already know, I already had my list. I didn't want him to be married before.
Okay.
I didn't want no baby drama mama.
Okay.
I didn't want any kids.
Yep.
I wanted him to have a house like me.
Yes.
I wanted his credit to be like me.
Yes, my credit was
tore
up.
Everything in the row just like me.
I had a 532
And
credit
everything
score.
I asked for, it was opposite of God sending it to me.
Well, I think it was a 428 credit score.
And I was in the sevens, y'all.
She was in the sevens, I was in the fours. Go ahead.
So yes, it was difficult for me.
Yes.
Because I felt like, what is he going to bring to the table, God?
That's right, yeah.
Why am I got to always bring stuff to the table? I had to do all this and do all that. Why the man can't bring it to the table?
Come on now.
Y'all know how we do.
And God said,
I work hard for my money.
He's bringing the very best to the table, and that's me.
I work hard for money.
Yeah,
So hard for you.
yeah.
So I figured, if I'm working hard for my money, why I gotta take care of this joker, right?
But she wasn't taking care of me now.
No.
She wasn't taking care of me.
That's where my mindset was distorted.
Yeah.
That's where I did not get the right teachings. That's where I was set in my ways of what I thought a marriage was supposed to be, based on the examples that I saw, which was little to
nothing. Right.
So I pretty much had to go with my own instincts, thinking worldly, thinking my way, because I wanted to make sure I had a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C going into a marriage that God has blessed me with. It doesn't add up at all.
I didn't even know you was going through that, not to that degree.
Until I was able to release that control. We women love control.
Especially independent women. Can you say that one more time, please?
I'm in control.
Say that one more time, please.
This is what I want to
say it one more time, please. Single women who are independent has a control problem.
You got a control problem.
You do.
And the control problem can get us into a lot of problems and trouble.
And it also will cause you to be single for a long time.
Yes. So I know, had I not given up the control freak isms and not saying you have to be totally crazy. What I'm saying is we have to trust God. And if God is putting a marriage together, it's two people coming together as one. It's no longer two separate people, y'all. I know it's hard to fathom. I do know that. I understand it. But the truth is the truth. And the truth in the house. If you're going into a marriage already thinking divorce, maybe you shouldn't be going into that marriage.
Or if you're going into a marriage thinking about, I have mine and he has his.
That's a telltale sign. You might want to wait. You may not be ready yet.
Yeah.
Because and that is true.
But that ain't God connecting.
Right.
Not like that.
What's his is mine.
Yeah.
What's mine is his.
It's
I know you hate to hear it like that,
it's
but
true.
it is the truth. When you marry into the whatevers. Vito didn't go to college. He went to college, but he didn't go to continuous college. So he didn't have
I didn't go to like a big university like some of you have. I went to a technical school, a computer technician, technology school.
So he didn't have the loans like me.
Yeah.
But guess what? Guess who's paying for them loans?
She is.
We both paying for those loans.
She is. She's paying for the loan and I'm paying it with her.
So let me explain it like this. Every marriage will do their own thing in regards to what they communicate, what works for them. So what works for us is that we decided that if we're going to be in this thing together, everything is going to be together. There's no separate here and there. However, we may have bank accounts with, by myself. He may have a bank account by himself, but we know about each other's account. There is main accounts. We have savings, we got checkings. Those are all together. But all the money is going into one account to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So he may have a couple of, money that's going into his little account. I have money that goes into my account.
But the money that I have going in my account is not like the money for me. The money I have going in my account is basically a maintenance money for my truck. To keep my truck running.
And I have an account for my stuff. So like if I want to get something extra outside of bills, I have that separate from our bills. But we know about that. It's not like it's a secret thing. I've heard some women say, well, I have my secret stash. There's no secret stash. We both know what each other have. And not only that, we both have authorization where we can use each other's account as well. Does that make sense? So there is one main account, and both of our checks goes into that account, and it pays all of the bills. My loans, he no longer have to pay child support, so that's gone. But all the bills, card notes, whatever notes, everything goes into one account where we pay the bills.
Right.
Does that make sense? So with our situation, there's no confusion. We're both on one accord.
There's no division.
And there's no division. And that's how it should be in a marriage. Whatever you guys decide to do, make sure you communicate. Make sure you both understand the setup. Everyone's setup will be different, and that's okay. As long as there's a oneness, as long as there's a communication and everyone is on one accord. So if you and your husband decide, you can have an account, he can have an account, and there's one main account, great. But what happens is some people don't even want to have the bills, your check going into your account, his check going into his account.
You pay your bills.
You pay your bills.
She pay her bills. You pay your bills and she pay her bills. Let's kind of really let me just say this, baby, if you don't mind. In our situation, when we were connected, we had already joined our accounts with each other while we were in courtship. When she had her place and we had not got married yet, we was in courtship for 9 months. And I was staying with a friend of mine, and we were saving up, and we were paying on our wedding before the wedding took place. We still had came to an agreement that we were going to have one account where all the money goes into. It's because it started really with me knowing what God did and me showing my proof my trust in God by my action. You can say that you trust God, but God knows whether or not you truly trust what He's going to do and what He has said, and He weighs it by your actions. That's how He knows whether or not you truly mean what you say, because actions are weighed in the eyes of God, very heavy. God goes off of actions. That's how He knows whether or not you truly love somebody, because you will show it by your actions. So when God connected us together, there was no type of disagreement or any type of confusion on what we're going to do with the money, because I was the one that took the leadership role in that area, because I was the one saying that we need to put our money together. We need to put it into the account together. My money was going into her. No, we had an account together. So it was going into the account together, and our money was being deposited into the same account while we was in courtship. So while we was in courtship, we was still developing our relationship and trust to each other
and God
while we were in courtship. Now I'm just talking about the process of what we were doing while we were in courtship. So while we were in courtship, we still hung out. We still went out on dates. We still, did this, did that, but we were more focused on paying for the wedding. So we had a one accord general assignment, or shall I say, a one accord camaraderie that we were focusing on paying on the wedding.
Because we didn't want to say I do with debt. So our marriage, our wedding was paid off when we said I do. We didn't want that going into our
right. So we had a common goal that we were going to pay on this wedding. So we combined our finances together while we were in courtship. She stayed at her house while I stayed with my friend for 9 months. When I get off work, I will come to her house. I will use her. She had two bedroom, 2 bath. I will use her bathroom in the living room. That will be the bathroom I will use to take my shower, and then we'll chill or we'll go somewhere. So, and then at 10 o'clock at nighttime, I will go home.
That was our curfew.
That was our curfew. So we did that for 9 months. We were already practicing our finances being together. So even when we got married and we said I do, our finances were still going into the same account. So when God puts something together,
but it was still hard on the human part.
Yes.
So
Yeah. I mean, it probably was hard for her, but it wasn't hard for me, because you have to understand this. God had already told me, let her be over the finances. Now, God knew her heart, and God knew what challenges that she had financially wise. In my heart, I already knew she had a challenge with finances, because
what would you say? Finance, which challenges with finances. Let them know what you're talking about.
Challenge with the finances meaning that she had a struggle with trusting.
Because I was used to doing everything myself.
I know. Trusting me to even have any say-so with the finances. She wanted to be the one to control the finances, because she had a problem with her, per se, sharing the finances, because she was still at that point where it was hard for her to share, because she had been single for so long. It was just been her and God. I already knew that. Okay, I already knew she had an issue with that. But what I did was I obeyed God. God told me to let her be over the finances. I didn't question God. Did I not tell you to be over the finances? I said, be over the finances. She don't know God told me to tell her that, but I told her that. She don't know that God had already showed me that, okay, she's struggling with this. She already struggling with you not making more money than her. And this is a way to basically you do what I tell you to do. Because I remember God telling me, don't stand in the way of what I am going to do with her. Remember me telling you that? Mm-hmm. I said, God told me that. So I knew, okay, he said, don't stand in his way for what I'm going to do with her. So that means that everything he told me to do, it was a reason why he was telling me to do it, and it was going to help her to become better. So every time that God will say, okay, I want you to do this, or I want you to do that, I never let her know. But I told her straight up, okay, you can be over the finances. You manage over the finances. I knew how to manage my own finances because I was single too before I met her. See, I was paying my own bills and paying my own note. Okay, I was doing the same thing what she was doing, but I had to obey God because she had more of a challenge with that than I did, and I didn't mind it. I didn't mind her because I trust in God that God put what is the word? He put the gift of trustworthy in her, meaning that she was not going to mess up the finances, meaning that she was not going to spend any of the finances crazy, meaning that she was going to be a good steward over the finances. So I trusted in God that God had put that in her to do the right thing with the finances, even though I came from a situation where the ex did not do the right thing with the finances. And I had to take over those finances because our lights was getting cut off sometimes. Our car note wasn't getting paid. So that alone itself, it wasn't a struggle for me, even though I experienced something in my first marriage. But I trusted in God because I knew that God knew what he was doing in this situation, because the first marriage, it wasn't God, period. Okay? So in this situation here is what we're, what I'm talking about is that when God puts you together, you're not going to be perfect and you're not going to have everything together. There's some things that you're still going to struggle with. I used to mess with her all the time. Sometimes we used to have our talk. And I used to tell her, you still have that single mentality.
And I did.
And she did. But that was the part of the process that God had to help me be patient to deal with her and teach her how to let things go and trust God, because she still had to learn how to trust God in this process too as well. Okay, because you talking about she making way more money than me, plus I had child support coming out. Okay, and kid you not, even with the child support, God, we never lacked anything.